In Idaho this morning, the big question, will cult mom Lori Vallow get out of jail? On Friday, she was able to get her bail reduced from $5 million down to $1 million. While she apparently hasn't been able to post bail as of yet, there's now a much better possibility that she will and be free pending trial. Vallow's two children, 17-year-old Tylee, 7-year-old JJ, have not been seen since September. During Vallow's Friday court appearance, the courtroom was absolutely packed, and her husband, there he is, Mr. Doomsday, Chad Daybell, sat perched right behind her in the gallery, watching every bit of it. Vallow, who told the judge she now wants to be referred to as Lori Daybell, listened as the prosecution argued for a higher bail, citing the fact that she refuses to help investigators locate her children.
Since this last summer, the defendant has lived in Arizona, Idaho, and Hawaii. And quite frankly, the circumstances under which she left Arizona, which was soon after the killing of her estranged husband by her brother, and the circumstances in which she left Idaho, which was the same night Rexburg police did a welfare check on her, give the state serious concern that she is a flight risk. Factor 4 is the defendant's character and reputation. Since this last summer, there has been a clear and alarming pattern in the defendant's life. There are literally 3 active investigations of suspicious deaths that she is related to, and I want to be clear, Your Honor, we're not saying she's been charged in those, and we're not saying the court should treat her as such. However, she is related to each of those deaths, and it is alarming to the state.
The prosecutor has gone through a litany of allegations for which she is not facing any sort of criminal charges whatsoever, and not criminal charges in this case. Those should not be considered by the court for purposes of this case and setting bond pursuant to Idaho, the factors listed in Idaho Criminal Rule 46. We would ask that you grant the defendant's request and set bail as requested in this matter.
After the hearing, Lori Vallow's oldest son, Colby Ryan, spoke to the media.
That's probably one of the hardest things you ever would see. Just seeing her and trying to lock eyes, just trying to get a connection to your own mom, knowing she hasn't had the kids for a long time, and it was really hard. It was really, really hard. There's no words for it.
When was the last time you talked to her?
What?
When was the last time you talked to her?
It was a while ago. It was right before Thanksgiving. I told her that the detectives came to look for Tylee and JJ, and that was it.
Have you tried to visit with her, and would she meet with you if you did try to visit with her?
My whole plan is to visit with her. I want to see her. I want to get in front of her. Obviously, she's my mom, and I'm very concerned about my siblings, so that's really what it's about.
That's what it's all about.
What would you say to her if you could say something right now?
My first question is going to be, where are Tylee and JJ? That's it.
Do you think your mom is still the same person you were?
My mom never abandoned us. My mom never didn't take care of us, didn't, do everything for us. So obviously, it's not really the same thing right now.
Colby, what's next? What are you going to do? Try and speak to her somehow?
My whole plan is to try to go figure out a way to actually speak with her and, be able to get in front of her and just ask her son, just try to plead with her. Ask her where Tylee and JJ are. This can't be that hard to answer.
You know your mom the best. What could she have done? Where could JJ and Tylee be? You know her mind, how it works.
Not anymore. I don't know how her mind works anymore. I used to be able to call her anytime and talk to her anytime about anything, and that's not the case anymore. So,
If she close by, do you think you could invite over to her home and be able to speak to her wherever she's going to be staying?
That's what I'm praying for. That's what I want. I feel like of anybody, I have to stand up for my family, and I'm the last piece really right now to get in her head, and I'm really hoping that is what I can do, have an impact on her.
Why do you think she's not talking?
No, I didn't speak to Chad.
Why do you think your mother or Chad hasn't said anything about this?
I don't know. It's just another mystery and part of this whole thing that's going on.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Her oldest son trying to get to her, saying he tried to make eye contact with her, and he's hoping to speak to his mother, who he says he now cannot understand. Earlier, I spoke with KNXV reporter Claudia Rupcich about the suspicious deaths leading up to Vallow's arrest, as well as the impact this tragic case has made on her small community. Take a look. Give us a sense of how this story has exploded. I mean, it's nationwide, but in this community and in the communities where these other suspicious deaths took place, give us a sense of how it's affecting the community.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're from Phoenix, Arizona, and one of these suspicious deaths, two of them actually related to Lori Vallow, happened in Gilbert, just outside. So Lori's ex-husband, Charles Vallow, was shot and killed by Lori's brother, Alex Cox, and then Alex Cox died, and his death is under investigation. We're waiting for the autopsy results there. Then we have the death of Tammy Daybell, Chad's wife, who died just just north of here in a small town called Salem, and her death is under investigation. So these are, I mean, Gilbert is pretty big, but Phoenix is a big area, but this is a very small community, and so everyone knew the Daybells in Salem. She used to work at a school nearby, so they were torn. They were really heartbroken when she died, and now finding out about Chad and Lori and just how big the picture is, that's what's gotten everyone so confused and why it's so compelling, because it's not just your one community. This stretches just so beyond what anyone could imagine, and it's why it's so convoluted, very intriguing, but also pretty scary.
Talk about Lori, and her family members said that this was a normal-ish person, like a regular mom just a year or two ago, and now to them, she's become this other person.
It's so bizarre. We spoke to a woman whose daughter was best friends with Tylee in Gilbert. They became best friends in the 5th grade. You know, they would hang out all the time, sleepovers. Lori would take them on adventures. She was described as a fun, energetic, go-getter, a great mom who loved her kids and would take them on adventures. They went to Hawaii all the time, as you know. So for the people who know Lori, they say it's almost, it's unimaginable that she would have something to do with the kids. But then you speak to Kay Woodcock, who is JJ's grandma, and she says she saw signs of her sort of going down the deep end when she met Chad, when, she and Charles were starting to go through a divorce, and she would disappear and start talking about the end of the world and her being a translated being who needed to help the 144,000. So a lot of this talk started coming about, and I think that's when the grandparents of JJ at least started thinking there's something off here, and that was just the beginning of this whole mess.
One of the things that really stands out to people is this surveillance video at a storage facility where it's clear that Lori Vallow is coming in, and there are some males, and there's heavy totes. What do we know about that, and what is the speculation?
So most of that reporting was done by one of our friends here in East Idaho who got the surveillance video. And what we know is that there were several comings and goings from the storage unit, and inside that storage unit were Tylee and JJ's stuff. There were bikes, there were photo albums, family albums of both of the kids, and things that are pretty personal, toys and things that you might maybe put away for the winter and then take back out in the summer. So of course the hope was that, hey, maybe she was just storing them for the winter and she's gonna come back and get them, but she stopped paying for the storage unit. So there was it doesn't look like she had any plans to come back for these things. And of course we'd love to know what exactly was going on when they were pulling these heavy stuff in and out. And the speculation is that it was Alex Cox in that video.
Chad Daybell, over the weekend, told an ABC News producers that the kids are safe. They're fine. What's been the reaction to that? And is there any indication that now he is inserting himself into this case? Because this is a missing persons case. If he claims to have information, he should be questioned.
Right. I think at first people were like, I can't believe he said anything, because he's been trying to distance himself. I'm sure his lawyers are telling him to distance himself. He has his own lawyer now, not representing Lori Vallow. And we saw he was at the courthouse yesterday, and he is not giving any statements at all. But we've been out here. We went to Chad Daybell's home. We spoke to people who know him. No one wants to go on camera. But the overall feeling is there is no way he'd have anything to do with the missing kids. They think it's Lori Vallow. But of course, they're wondering, why isn't he saying anything if he does know where the kids are? And him saying the kids are safe is an indication that he might know where they are. And so that's the biggest question. If all of this is because the kids are missing. So all we need to know is where they are, and all of this could be over. And for him as well, because his family is going through a lot here with the media and the attention and just all of this madness.
Yeah. Lori Vallow expected back in court later this month, and of course we'll keep you updated on the latest developments in this very twisted case. At this point, she has not bailed out, but that could change over the next few hours or days.